So I'm using the Screencastify extension to create this video, and I'm going to talk specifically about how to use Jamboard. But before I do that, I'm just going to show you a couple of things that I use in Drive that might be helpful for you. You've probably noticed that there's always this priority bar up here, or there's a priority tab here. So you can see the most recent documents and projects you've been working on. But under the priority tab, there's also a workspaces area. And you can use a workspace to keep all of the documents for a certain project, or maybe if you want to keep documents together for a current unit or a course instead of using folders because you'd like to see them all listed here on one screen, then you might create a workspace. So it's a really nice feature that I've just started using in Google Drive. It may have been here for a while, but I've just discovered it. The other thing to tell you before we start with Jamboard is if you haven't found this in your Chromebook, do this right now. Under the right-hand outside corner, if you feel under and on the outside corner, you'll notice that there's like a little ridge there. If you get your nail into there and pull it out, it's a stylus. So you might want that to use Jamboard. Okay, so here's where Jamboard lies. If we click New and then we click More, there's a file called Google Jamboard. So Jamboard is Google's answer to Smartboard. It's actually a product just similar to a smartboard that you would use in the classroom in front of the room in place of a smartboard or a whiteboard. But we have access to these documents. You could also use the Jamboard app for Apple devices or Android devices. I think there may be some more features in the app than we have here in Drive. But basically what Jamboard is a whiteboard. So first, I'm going to show you the background. So click background, and there are different backgrounds we could put: notebook paper, dot grid, graph paper in white and gray, and then a blue background and a black background. So I'm just going to use the white background for now, like a whiteboard. And over on the left, I can pick a pen. I can pick a thickness, and I like the marker. And I can pick a color. Favorite color is blue, or if I wanted to use yellow to highlight, I'm just going to write my name so you can see how it works. So this is what I used to annotate those pictures that were in the presentation. Okay, so I could use the eraser, right? And erase like this, or if I want to get rid of everything at once, I can just hit clear frame. There's also, if I were using this in class, there's a laser, or if I wanted to record something and not have the pen stay, if I'm doing a screencast and I have notes on the Jamboard and things that I want to point out, but I don't want it to stay, I can use the laser feature here. Okay, so the other thing I want to show you is that you can add images to a Jamboard. So I could add them from Google, or I could add an image from my computer. If I've done a screenshot of something, if I've clipped something from the web, then I could upload that image right here to the Jamboard for my students or for me to work with. I can also do a Google image search. So we just read the metamorphosis, but let's just see what we get. I know we're going to get, I guess you call it life cycle stuff. So if I want an image to teach metamorphosis, then I can grab this. I can put it right in the Jamboard. I can leave it that size, or what I've been doing is pulling it up here to the left corner and then clicking on the corner and dragging it to make it bigger. Then I have space over here where I could write, right? I can write right on the picture as well. The other thing that students can do, or you can do, is add a sticky note. So I choose a sticky note, I can choose a color, and I could put a question on here, right, for my students to answer, or I could just comment. And then I save it, and the sticky note appears on the board. I can drag it around. So yeah, that's some things with Jamboard. I could see using it in place of Padlet. Padlet now is limited for the number of Padlets you can create. There are some other things students can do with the Post-it note. I think, I don't know how I found that, but I think you could add a couple of other things. I think you can add audio to it as well. I found that accidentally earlier. I'm going to have to mess around with it. But yeah, students could use this in place of Padlet. They could use it to annotate whatever you have on the board. So I think it's up to each of you to decide how it might work in your class. It might not work for your class. But when I first discovered it, I thought it might be really useful to math teachers and science teachers and elementary teachers. Um, Math for screencasting a problem, science for the same thing. I could also see using it to draw visual representations or graphic organizers, or if students have access to a touchscreen, if they have a tablet or they're using their parents' device and they can put Jamboard app on their phone, you can share these Jamboards with students and they can become collaborative, interactive Jamboards for them, right? So if they have Jamboard on their end, they could be adding their own sticky notes from their device. Same thing with a computer, right? We can share the Jamboard with the students and they could add sticky notes. If they have touch screens, they could annotate. So yeah, have fun with it. That's Jamboard.